Well, hello, this is day 5,
Yay, 5 days.
29 years and beyond. And we want to continue with communication. We talked about yesterday how communication is key, and it's imperative. You know, one of the things that I believe and I've learned over the years is you have to have great communication. However, once the communication ends, that's usually the beginning of the end.
True. I believe that in a marriage and in a relationship, even for people out there who are just in a love relationship with someone, if you can't communicate about everything, and when I say everything, how you're feeling, your trust, your dislikes, your beliefs, you can't stew. And in the beginning of our marriage, for a really good long time of our marriage, I would just get upset about things that Fred would do, and I would just hold it in.
Yeah, do something, being the charming, wonderful person I am,
Really.
and not knowing if it was something that maybe was offensive or disrespectful or whatever. And, she wouldn't say anything.
Yep.
And I would say, well, what's wrong? Nothing, But as time would go on, obviously, whatever I had done or was doing wasn't addressed. And then she'd get to full capacity and then pop. And she's like, okay, well, what's going on?
Yeah, the explosion of someone 5 feet is not really that good. And it wouldn't be pretty. I mean, I would just be boiling angry. Not screaming because he doesn't react to screaming, but just really, really angry and just go on. And it would be like a list of things, not just one thing that had made me mad. It would be like stuff that he did like 3 months ago or 4 months ago, sometimes a year ago.
Well, and so we begin to communicate. And I made Gail aware of the fact, if you're not addressing what's going on, then it's not fair to you. It's not fair to me. It's not fair, because there may be something. Let's say there was something that I did that annoyed her, or she felt like was offensive, and in her mind she's thinking, "Well, he should know,"
Right.
and he continues to do this. My thing is this: did you address it?
Right.
Because so many times people sit back and say, "Well, he should know," or "I shouldn't have to tell her." Whether you feel that way or not, did you address it? Because if you haven't addressed it, then it's possible that the other individual do not know. And so what becomes different is if you don't address it, like she said, and you sit back and stew, then again, you're building up in your mind some other reality that may not be real. And so both of you are suffering in the process. However, if you address it, and you make sure that, okay, now the person understands. This is what you did that I didn't like. This is what you did that was offensive. This is what you did that was disrespectful. Now it's not that you don't know.
Right.
So if you don't know and you continue, that's one thing. But if you know and you continue, then that's a different thing, because it's not that you don't know. It's more likely that you don't care. And that's a big difference. But until that's communicated, you can't make that distinction.
Yeah, and I remember early in our marriage, I'm not even sure we had got married. I think, no, we weren't, because we were still living in, no, we hadn't got married. But you had stopped smoking, then remember you had like started back smoking. Do you remember that? Gone. And I was just like, I could smell it, and I'm like, are you smoking again? And, he was like, yeah, he was just a little stressed out, whatever. And you don't remember that? Yeah, God bless him. And,
too long.
And
That
we
ship has
we sat
long
down
sailed.
and we talked about it, and I just explained to him, that this was a big issue for me. I had really bad allergies, and remember we had to go see Dr. Sabri,
I remember that.
and I kept getting sick, and so I mean, like he can do, he just stopped smoking again, and he hasn't smoked since then. But I mean, I just had to communicate that with him. I didn't get upset or explosive. I just was very concerned and very stern with him about it. And then also over drinking, because when we first got married, we had an incident before we got married, he had an incident where he had gotten slightly inebriated. You remember that ride home, don't you?
Oh, I remember. She tried to kill me.
I did. I was so angry. I was driving sort of like, man, I wouldn't speak to him. I wouldn't say anything to him. And then he addressed.
She wasn't, she was communicating with her Indianapolis 500 driving skills, making me fear for my life. But the reality is this, very basic. This is nothing new. When you talk about communication, there has to be transmission as well as reception. So it's not just one person talking or whatever, and it's not both persons talking and nobody listening.
Right.
In order for there to be communication, each person has to share and receive, and then you need to be clear that the other person understood what you were attempting to convey. Because sometimes we think, oh, I've got this, I nailed it, and the other person may have misconstrued what you said. So when you're talking about effective communication, it's not just one person getting things off their chest or one person doing the talking or both persons talking, but you have to make certain that whatever it was that you wanted to share with the person that you love was exactly what they understood.
Got it.
All right. Well, we're going to move on the next time, but I guarantee you communication is something, because it's so important, we'll be coming back to this time and time again. Thank you.